Happy Teensy Tuesday. My name is Gianna. I put out new videos every Tuesday. I talk about everything from Disney to my life to beauty to whatevs, you name it. I probably have a video on it. So today is, I guess, a continuation of my last video, even though it wasn't meant to be. You guys asked so many questions and I thought that my last video would be like 10 minutes and then it ended up being 20, and I was like, oh, I'll just do like a little bit and then I'll like, you know, do the rest of the questions in another video. It ended up being a 20-minute video, so I'm hoping today is not another 20-minute one, but you never know. There's a lot of questions and I have a lot of things to say about them. They all pertain to Disney Cruise Line, so it's another Disney Cruise Line Q&A. You guys love the cruise line content, so I hope you guys really like this video. If you do, give it a thumbs up, and if you're not subscribed yet, go ahead and subscribe so you don't miss out on all the good content that's constantly coming. If you guys are wondering, I got a lot of questions on my lip. The last video, that lip was an Aveda lip color. I have it right here. I used to work at an Aveda salon, and so like I got like a ton of stuff. It's called Golden Lily Aveda Nourishment Rehydrating Lip Glaze. And my thing is right now is I'm doing spring cleaning and I'm trying to wear every day a different lip color so I can see if I like it. And then if I don't like it, I'm gonna get rid of it because I have so many lip colors. So that's why I got crazy lips going on recently. Because you know, I feel like I didn't usually wear lipstick in videos before. So that's that. Let me start with question number 1. Laundry on the ship. So when you're living on a Disney ship, I lived on the Disney Dream, you get to do your laundry for free. Everybody's like, does it cost money? No, it doesn't cost money. There's a laundry room down aft deck A. It's been a long time. I don't remember exactly where it was, but they provide detergent for you, but it's like powder and it's kind of gross. So like I just brought my own. I brought like Tide Pods with me. So you like fill your bag with dirty laundry and like walk yourself down the I-95, which is like the highway of like every crew member like walks up and down the I-95 to get to wherever they need to go. You get down to the laundry room, you put your stuff in, you put your detergent in, normal washing machine, and you leave it there until you can put it in the dryer, which is usually like, I would do it on my lunch break or after work. But if you leave the laundry in the laundry room for, I think it's 5 days or 3 days, and it hasn't been claimed, they'll take it out and incinerate it. So make sure you don't leave your laundry in the laundry room. That has never happened to me, luckily, but I did know some people that it did happen to, which sucks. What I did on the island as crew. That is a really good question. So as a fairy godmother in training, we did work on the island as well. And people are always like, but there are no fairy godmothers on the island. True. So on Castaway days, Castaway is the only island that we actually get off and work on because Castaway is owned and operated by Disney. It is Disney's private island. So all of the workers on the island either come off the ship or they live on the island, or they're tendered in from a very close island, like the hair braiders are tendered in. But lucky us, fairy godmothers in training, we got to go off on Castaway days and work in the merchandise shops. Because my role was technically merchandise, I had to work the shops on Castaway. So Castaway Day came twice a week, and we put on our shorts and our little button-up short sleeve Hawaiian shirt, and we would work in one of the 3 shops on Castaway. So we just made sales, stood in the shop, did the register, same stuff we would do inside working at a store. We were just outside. And sometimes it was fun, but most of the time it was like horrible because it was always on a Wednesday morning, and Tuesday nights were always our like big party nights. So Wednesday, everybody's always hungover. We're tired. We don't want to be outside sweating. It was so hot. It's so hot on the island, especially in the summertime. Luckily I was there over like the winter season and it was still like blazing hot, so I can't even imagine what people in the summer had to do. What does being a fairy godmother in training entail? So basically a day in my life on the cruise ship is I wake up. This is like a normal sea day. Wake up, go to work at 9 in the morning. I do hair, makeup, and nails on little girls and boys. So you have to be between the ages of 3 and 12 you can make an appointment at the boutique, and then I am your fairy godmother in training. And I am, basically the storyline is that fairy godmother, Cinderella's fairy godmother, runs this boutique where she trains these fairies to give magical transformations to little girls and boys, which is really cool. And it's just like a fun story. It's a fun idea. As fairy godmothers, we're like very old. So I was like 423 when I was practicing on the ship. And once you're 1,000, you graduate from fairy school. That's basically the storyline. So a little girl comes in, and depending on what kind of package she gets, you get to help her pick out her dress. She gets to change into her dress. You do her hair, you do her makeup, you do her nails. To be a fairy godmother in training, you have to have very good storytelling skills. I think that storytelling skills are even more important than cosmetology skills, because a lot of the girls in our boutique were cosmetologists in life on land. I have never done hair, makeup, or nails in my life. I've never done that professionally. I have never. The closest that I've gotten to that is being a receptionist at a salon. So I really I don't know. But it's very easy hairstyles. Like the buns, I have a video of me doing the hairstyle on my little cousin. You can watch that video. And it's very simple. And the makeup is very simple. The nails are very simple. So storytelling is your biggest like thing that you have to do as a fairy godmother, because you are explaining to these girls that you're a fairy godmother, and that, you know, that you're their fairy godmother, and all these gifts were given to them by different princesses. It's like a very like scripted and intense appointment, but it's so fun. So that's pretty much what it entails. What are recruiters looking for, and do you need a college degree? That's like a really good question, because I feel like most of the people that do apply for Disney Cruise Line are from other countries, and I know that the recruiting process from other countries is totally different than if you're an American, because I think people from other countries need something called a procurement alley, which means like you go through a middleman to get to Disney. And I didn't have to do any of that. I literally just went on dclcareers.com, applied as a fairy godmother in training. That's a position that like comes up and goes. But there are other positions that are available all the time. So I just applied for it. I had a phone interview, like a Skype interview, and then they told me on the Skype interview that I got the job. So I do have a college degree. I have my associate's degree, like a general education associate's degree. And I think it helped too, because I did apply for cruise line when I was 18 and I did not get in. I applied again when I was 20 and I did not get in. When I applied when I was 22, I did get in. So I think they want you to be a little older, a little more mature. That's just from my experience. I really didn't know anybody on the ship that was under 20, unless they were in entertainment. And even then, like 19 was maybe like the youngest that I saw. I think they're just looking for somebody who has lived in an environment with lots of other people before, so it helped that I had done the college program and I was in like close proximity with other people, because you live in very close quarters, and somebody who is good at storytelling and well-spoken. I think that those are like the main things that they're looking for, but I feel like I got very lucky. I think that sometimes on ships when people quit, they are like scrambling to get somebody else on the ship, because you don't really have room to not have the staff that you have. Because like we in the boutique had about 8 girls. If somebody dropped, all of us were feeling that like heavy. So I think that that's a big thing too. Like if they're hurting for people or if they need people, like they're gonna be hiring quick. And so I think it just like is luck, but also be confident, have life experience. I think those are like big things. Favorite secret about the ship? That's a good question. I don't know if I have like a favorite they in the question they said like hidden Mickey or something like that. If you are ever on one of the ships, on the first day they usually have like a tour of the ship, like an art tour, and it's just interesting to learn how much thought goes into what they do. And in the atrium, from like the carpet to the statues to the walls to the ceilings, Yeah, I can't say I have a favorite secret. I don't think I've ever seen a hidden Mickey on the cruise ships. I was too busy, too stressed. Sorry that was a bad answer. Can you transfer from Walt Disney World to Disney Cruise Line? Good question. So Disney World and Disney Cruise Line are kind of different entities. Even though it's the same company, it's dealt with by like two totally separate things. And I know when I was working on the cruise line, I couldn't transfer to Disney World because I was trying to become a fairy godmother in training on land. And that was not something that was possible. And if it was, nobody that was higher up for me knew that it was. I did like have multiple conversations with like leaders and things like that. And it just like it wasn't something that other people did because all of my coworkers were from other countries, and you can't work in Disney World if you're from another country unless you work in Epcot on like a cultural representative program or something like that. So they aren't really trained to know what to do if somebody wants to work in the park. So it may be an option, but there was no way for me to do it because nobody knew how, including myself. So it wasn't easy. And obviously, as you guys know, I didn't get to, so it wasn't something that could be done. From Walt Disney World to Disney Cruise Line may be different, but I highly doubt it. I really do think that it's just, you gotta go through the DCL jobs website and like handle it that way. Why can't you room with people from other departments? Good question. So, as I have stated in so many of my videos, and it's like the most talked about thing, there are different ranking systems for different jobs on Disney Cruise Line. I, for example, was Yellow Stripe. What does that mean? That means that I have different set of privileges than the dining room workers, for example, who are Green Stripe. I get access to the guest pools, guest areas, guest decks, which was super awesome. And it was because my work on cruise line, being a fairy godmother, there was only 8 of us. So if there's 8 of us roaming around the ship, it's fine. If you're looking at a department such as like dining room, where there's thousands of people or 1,000 people, you can't like have them roaming all over the ship because that's like less room for guests, and if that makes sense. That's how it was like explained to me. That's basically how I understand it. So when I got on the ship, you guys know Rochelle, I wanted to room with Rochelle. We were like really getting along very well, and we wanted to room together, but unfortunately Rochelle was in dining room and I was in boutique. So because she was in dining room, she could only room with dining. And I think that has to do with having a different ranking system, having totally different schedules. And then another thing is that all dining room workers live in the same like hallway. Think of it as like college dorms. Like all the honors students are living in the honors dorm and all the lacrosse students live together. The boutique literally had 2 little hallways with doors on each side, and everybody in that area was from boutique. They all lived and worked together. And I think it just makes more sense so that not everybody's like crazy all over the ship. The only exception to that rule is if you are married to somebody on the ship, you can live together with that person if you put in like an application for it, and they don't have to be from the same department as you. So there's that. And that's all the questions I have. You guys, keep the questions coming. I love it. If you have any more questions, leave them in the comments down below. If you have questions about my answers, leave them in the comments down below. If you have questions about anything, comments down below, sis. You guys, thank you so much. Happy Tuesday. I will talk to you soon. Bye.